It's a gift guide episode. People who cook are actually some of the easiest people to shop for. All we want to do is one thing, cook. And how we achieve that can be accomplished in many other ways. And usually those ways involve a toy of some kind. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 8 different things that you can buy your favorite foodie, from cheaper stocking stuffers to basically professions of love. Now, I will leave the links to these things down below in the descriptions, but let me ask you this one thing. If you have the opportunity to do so this holiday season, indeed any holiday season, it might be beneficial to your community if you shopped a little local. Sure, I'm going to show you on Amazon or the easiest place to order this so that you don't have to leave your house, because quite frankly, that is what I do. But I also do like to shop local. It might be a little more expensive, it might not be a little more expensive, but it is beneficial to your community to buy things at a physical store. So if you live in a place that features a cute little kitchenware store, or a bookstore, or any kind of like home goods store, even big box retail helps your local community a little bit compared to online shopping. Not that much, but small business support is the best thing you can do. So that is like my plea to you guys, to shop small and shop local. And that was me trying my best to be a decent human being. Let's get started. The first thing coming in at under $10 is this magnetic measuring spoon holder. Normally, when you've got measuring spoon holders, they're held together by some kind of ring. And the ring is the absolute worst thing on the planet because it's a pain in the ass to take off these things individually off of the ring. So you ended up leaving it on, but when you use it to scoop whatever you want, you still have to wash it or put it in your dishwasher, and you don't want to put the whole thing in your dishwasher. But for some reason you have to. This solves that problem by having them held together with magnets. They're pretty solid and pretty sturdy, and they jingle around in your drawer without separating, and they are easy to wash and easy to separate and easy to put back together. I don't really know how many other ways I can tell you that this thing is pretty f***ing great. The next thing we have coming in at under $25 is the measuring cup version of the same magnetic set. It is pretty much everything I said about the magnetic spoons, but in measuring cup form. I mean, that kind of separated when I dropped, but it for the most part holds together pretty well, and it's heavy and sturdy and dishwasher friendly. Bonus points for being made out of metal and not plastic. We are all trying to use less plastic in our lives. These things are great being just metal and silicone. As a pair on Amazon, I've seen them for under $35. Coming in at under $40 are these pepper mills that y'all keep being in my comments about every time I use them in my videos. In case you're wondering, yes, I do see every time somebody cracks a joke that I'm using a weed grinder to grind pepper. That's not what this is. This is a Zazenhaus pepper mill, and what you have here is a container that holds pepper on the top, and then it has a grinding unit on the bottom for hard spices. Based on how much pepper you use and how much you grind it, you get to control the fineness of your pepper. And it ranges from cracked pepper to finely like a fine pepper. Oops, I spilled everywhere. I don't think it's bad luck to like spill pepper. That's salt, right?
Toss some salt over your right shoulder.
It smells lovely though. One little thing about this, do not put too much in here. Start with 2 or 3 peppercorns in here and work your way up. 2 or 3 is a surprising amount when you're grinding it down to a fine powder. So that's this at under $40. Coming in as low as under $10 to above however many you want to spend are spices. Every chef wants good quality spices in their pantry. Not only are they more potent and more fragrant and more flavorful, but they also last longer as well. And spices in a pantry to a cook is kind of like having like different colors of paint to a painter. The more you have, the more you can do with, the more beautiful things you're able to create. And there are spices and aromas and flavor profiles out there that cooks aren't even aware of yet. And these are one of those things where a cook might be hesitant to buy something that they don't really know very much about on their own. So if you want to buy something a little bit interesting and a little bit more out there for your cook, they might be pleased to have it, and they might try something and fall in love with something completely new. So if you want to pair things off and buy something that you know they will use, such as this cinnamon over here, and then give them something a little bit different, like maybe a Japanese curry or a Middle Eastern spice blend. I don't know what's in it, but it smells amazing. Or maybe even like a single origin chili powder. This is a great idea for a gift because it is completely customizable, absolutely thoughtful, and it might open them up to some new experiences and ideas. Buying pans for a person might be slightly controversial, but hear me out. These are DeMeyer ceramic non-stick pans, and they are my go-to non-stick cookware. They range from $70 to $100 per pan. This one obviously must be in the middle somewhere. And the thing is, with non-stick pans, they need to be replaced anyway. Doesn't matter what brand they are, they need to be replaced. So unless you know that whoever you're buying pans for has brand spanking new non-stick pans, there's a chance that they might own some that is on their way out. And if they have regular non-stick, non-ceramic pans, these are a good upgrade because, as we know, regular non-stick pans leach terrible forever chemicals into your food. Now the drawback is you do have to baby these. You have to baby these a lot. No dishwasher. Even though they say dishwasher safe, they're lying. Wash them by hand. They're non-stick and therefore easy to clean by nature. You should always wash them by hand. No high heat at all, medium at most, and never empty. I would at the most use this to cook a delicate piece of fish. Otherwise, these are egg pans, these are pans for omelets, these are pans for very, very delicate cooking and not something that I would sear a steak in or a chicken breast in. But unlike regular non-stick pans, these don't have those dangerous chemicals that leach into your food, so it is a good upgrade. One way to know if somebody's non-stick pans is on the way out, just see if there's scratch marks on it. Because if there are scratch marks on it, that means those little bits of non-stick coating is flaking off into your food, and that's when you absolutely need to replace them anyway. Now, full disclosure, DeMeyer is the brand that I use for my non-stick pans and my stainless steel. But when it comes to non-stick pans, one that has been reviewed very well was Green Pan. So if you don't want to buy this, then I do highly recommend Green Pan. I have noticed that that one is very, very good as a ceramic non-stick. This one is for the camp cooks in your life. If you've seen any of my camp cooking content, then you've seen me use this quite a bit. Come on. This is the Lodge Cook It All cooking set. I think that's what it's called. What do they call this thing? Oh, here we go. The Lodge Cast Iron Cook It All Kit 5-piece cast iron set.
Includes a reversible grill griddle, 14-inch, 6.8 quart, bottom/wok, 2 heavy-duty handles,
and a tips and tricks booklet. So as it says in the description, we've got a grill side, a griddle side, and a very ample bowl/wok container. One thing I very much like about this is its versatility. This, not only can it be used this way, it can also be used upside down to create kind of like an oven type situation. I've made flatbreads this way, I've made congee and stews this way. It is simply so versatile, and even though it is quite heavy and quite large, it is practically an entire kitchen that you can bring with you. All you really need to do to make this work is a campfire. This is raw, regular Lodge cast iron, which means you do have to season it, you do have to take care of it, but if you do, it will last you a lifetime, it will outlive you, and you can pass this down to as many people who are willing to take good care of it. I can't express how much I personally love this thing. I take it with me whenever I go camping. The bag here, it doesn't come with this, but it is very nice to have extra. So if you want to go above and beyond, get them the, I think this is like the 14-inch Lodge carrying bag. It's a great little addition to it. I love this. I will say I have no reason to use this at home. It will probably work over a gas stove range, but it's so heavy and cumbersome, I would not use this outside of a camping setting. So if you don't like to camp, then, you know, a cast iron skillet is great. Actually, let's talk about cast iron skillets. We have long cleared the $100 mark, and we're approaching sub $200, sub $300 for cast iron cookware. I like gifting cast iron cookware because it is simply just one of those things that just feels so permanent. If they don't already have these things, they are just really beautiful things to have, and really just like, you know, good shows of affection and respect you have for what they do as a cook. Here I have a enameled cast iron as well as a unenameled cast iron brand. This one is from a brand called Phoenix, and this one is Staub. Now, the beauty of enameled cast iron is simply that you don't have to season it. It does not need to be greased up. You can just wash it. It is easier to clean somewhat, but you do have to be careful with it. Enamel is simply just a protective layer of glass that is over the iron itself, making it so that you never have to season it. Raw, naked cast iron, as you can see with a little bit of rust spots over here, no big deal though, because you have like little rust erasers that you can scrub them off and it totally cleans off. Rust is nothing to be scared of, it just happens when you have cast iron. There are many brands that are higher end in the raw cast iron game. Phoenix is one of them. I kind of just like this for its like weird and funky shape, and I do like how this looks at the table. There's another one called Smithy Ironworks, who I really love their cast iron. They have some beautiful pieces, but those run $200, $300, $400 depending on the type of pan that you have. Cast iron skillets, do your research, see what they already have, see what they might like, see what they need. On the lower end is, again, Lodge. Lodge makes amazing cast iron skillets for a lower price point. They're not as smooth at the inside. They might be a little harder to clean, but they are great and they will last just as long as any of these. Now, the last and best thing that you can give any home cook is obviously me. This is my cookbook. I wrote this a year ago, and it features a lot of recipes that you might have seen online, actually written out and in like, you know, well-instructed form. Also, I've been told that the pictures are fantastic. JPEGs. Now that I've said that, what I really mean is this incredible wok. If the person that you are shopping for has ever been curious about Chinese wok cooking, you might as well get them the best. An oxen forged wok is simply one of the best woks that you can get imported into this country, and it's not really all that expensive considering that this is one of the best you can get. They range from under $170 to under $200. They come in various different sizes. They come in round bottom and flat bottom ones. The flat bottom ones will be the ones that are more compatible with Western stoves. If you are unsure of whether or not they have the capability to use a round bottom wok, I would suggest going with the flat bottom first. And as I said in my wok video, if you are not going to get them the best kind of wok that you can possibly get, then simply get them one that is cheap from the Chinese grocery store. Those things can range under $30, under $40, under $50. Do not spend any more than 50 bucks on a wok unless you're going to get one of the best woks. There's a whole issue with wok manufacturing, wok quality that's out there, and the difference in cooking experience that you can get between a $30 wok and one that is like actually really good is miles ahead. But anything that's in the middle of that will not give you a better quality of experience. If they just want to test the waters, go for the $30 one, and I guarantee you it'll work perfectly fine. The guy who makes these oxen forge woks says the exact same thing. If you're not gonna buy his, there is nothing wrong with buying woks that are much more affordable. Just save your money. And that, my friends, is my gift guide. Hopefully you find this useful, and hopefully this inspires you in your gifting ideas for this season. Once again, I'm going to stress that you shop local. I'm going to provide you links to all of these things, but please, if you can, buy local. And in fact, if you are in the Metro Detroit area, I will put down a list of a bunch of shops that I think deserve your time to get some more holiday gift ideas. Thank you. Good night.